Howdy, hi. It is Dear Job Sports WNBA Picks and Predictions for Tuesday, July 29th, 2025. We're looking at the best bets of the day. Let's get into the video. All right, first things first, got to recap the previous day's results. On the day, we go 2-4. The only two things we won were the total props in both the games, with the over 158.5, with the over 169.5. Our losers, we had the Sun plus 11.5, the Liberty minus 8.5, both of our player props. And if you take a look at the ban list, it is different. Arike Gumbawale, no more. She's free. She did her time. I think she spent like 2 months. She was easily the longest tenured ban list member ever. And me and Rattler in the Discord, we call her Pepper, and Marina Mabry is Salt. Together they're Salt and Pepper. One of them will always be on the ban list. They are the same person. So now we have Salt on the ban list. Hello, Marina. I'd imagine you are going to be here for a very long time. You're bunking alone. You're in solitary. You're not coming out. All right, I'm going to recap these games real quick. Then we'll get on to the picks for tomorrow. Game 1, it was the Seattle Storm, the Connecticut Sun. This game was early, pretty quick. Final score of this game, Seattle 101, Connecticut 85. It makes it sound closer than it was. It's kind of the same story with the Liberty and Wings game. At one point, the Seattle Storm were up. What was their largest lead? Largest lead was, is it going to show up? 32. And then in the fourth quarter, they didn't play any of their starters, and they lost the fourth quarter by 13. So really, they were up 29 points going into the fourth quarter. Sun never stood a chance to cover the 11.5. But we do hit the over, as the Storm remembered how to play basketball. 61% from the field, 45% from deep. They tie the offensive rebound battle. They do lose the turnover battle, but it doesn't really matter when you shoot 61% from the field. Next game, we had the over, 169.5. This was another no-doubter. Final score, New York Liberty 82, Dallas Wings 92. Dallas Wings had 63 points at halftime. They then scored 29 total points in the second half. If that's not the most Dallas Wings stat out there, I don't know what is. Liberty kind of the exact opposite. They scored 36 in the first half, then scored 46 in the second. Our losers, we had the Sun plus 11.5. They got buried. I'm going to talk about Marina Mabry PRA here as well. Marina Mabry played 16 minutes, 1-6, out of a 40-minute basketball game. Yes, it was a complete blowout in the fourth quarter, so we can kind of toss that one to the side. Even if we just take the first 3 quarters, why is Marina only playing 16 minutes in 3 quarters? Even Tina Charles played 22. What are we doing here? She wasn't even in foul trouble. She had 2 personal fouls through 16 minutes. Why are you putting her on the bench? That one confused me. So her over points, 13.5, was no bueno. Then we had Liberty minus 8.5. That was no good. They took the entire first half off of playing basketball. Halftime score 36-63. Liberty 44% from deep, 44% from the field, 27% from deep. They lose the rebound battle. They tie the turnover battle. Sabrina Ionescu, that is the next one. Her halftime stat line, 1 point, 0 rebounds, 1 assist. Her full game stat line, 17 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Every single person on the Liberty team just took off the entire first half. They tried to come back in this game. They were down 30 points with 8 minutes left in the third. They were then down 6 points with 1.5 minutes left. I genuinely thought they were going to come back and win the game. At one point, it was a 19-0 run. But they don't. They lose by 10. They made it close, though. So, cool. All right, that's the recap and the updated ban list. That ban list is very, very white. We'll see if that changes. Probably not. It's definitely not with Marina. Becky Hammond's probably staying on there for a while. Lynn Roberts actually may deserve to be taking off. We might take off Lynn Roberts. I don't know who's replacing her, but Lynn could come off. Seattle Storm, you have to beat a decent team to come off the ban list. And Steph White, you're going to be on there for a while, probably until Caitlin Clark comes back, because you kept on rushing her back from injury, and now she's just injured even more. The more I look at Steph White, she really does just look like an older version of Caitlin Clark. Like if you squint hard enough, I could be convinced that's Caitlin Clark. All right, that's the recap. Let's get on to the picks for tomorrow. First game here, we have the Chicago Sky headed to DC, take on the Mystics. I'm going to take the Sky on the road +7 in the under of 158.5. The Chicago Sky, they are most likely getting their Lord and Savior Angel Reese back in the lineup. She's currently listed as probable to play. They've been getting absolutely destroyed without her and Ariel on the court. Both Angel back, I do actually think this team can play with some semblance of goodness in them and just not be absolutely atrocious at the sport. Chicago Sky have lost 5 games in a row. They are 3-10 on the road straight up, but they did not play really that horrible in their most recent game. I was actually really impressed with how Rachel Banham shot up and shot the ball. Their defense wasn't awful. They just allowed Kelsey Mitchell to go 7 of 10 from deep. You take away that, if she just goes 3 of 10 from deep, that becomes a 3-point game. So I really wasn't too concerned with how they played defensively. It's just the fact they literally cannot score the basketball without Angel or Ariel on the court. They've already played the Mystics twice this year. They've lost both times, but they've both been close games. First one 79-72, second one 81-79. So we're getting +7. They've covered that both times. Over-under, it is leaned more towards the under. The first one finishing at 151, the second one finishing at 160. So I like the Sky here, +7, and the under 158.5. Mystics, 12-13 on the year. They just lost to the Mercury by 16 points at home. You can take that with a little bit of a grain of salt, though. That was the second half of a back-to-back. This is their third game, however, in 4 days. So it's still going to be a decent toll on the body. You're not going to want to be struggling down low physically going up against Angel Reese trying to grab 20 rebounds in one game. So it might be a little greasy, might be a little ugly game. They've recently not been scoring the ball well. Their most recent games, they've scored 69 and 72. Those were both at home. So I'm going to rock the Sky and the under in what should be a pretty ugly basketball game. Next game we're taking a look at is the Golden State Valkyries headed to Atlanta, take on the Dream. I'm going to take the Dream, -8.5. I'm going to rock the over, 155. I think there's only one way to bet this game, just based on how atrocious the Valkyries have looked recently. Dream, they're coming off of a very nice road win at the Lynx, the first team in the WNBA to beat Minnesota at home. I feel good backing them now that they're reset back home in Atlanta. They're taking on one of the bottom feeders in the league. Give me the Dream. Give me the over. Valkyries just lost a road game to the Connecticut Sun by 31 points. They gave up 95 to one of the worst offenses in the WNBA. With no Monique Billings and Kayla Thornton on the court, they lack a lot of size. That is not going to go well against Brittany Griner. They're also horrible shooting the ball from deep. They make one of the most three-pointers a game, but they shoot at 31%. So I think they make the third most three-pointers a game, but they only shoot at 31%, which is second last in the W. That is not going to go well. They've already played the Dream this year. They lost by 9 points, and that was in Golden State. The Dream, like I said, they just beat Minnesota 90-86. Brittany Griner's a story here. She is playing basketball like she did back in college. Absolutely dominating. I guess with no Ryan Howard, they've basically given her the option to just shoot it whenever she wants. It's not just layups she's making. She's taken 10-foot pull-up J's. Kind of ridiculous. We have not seen this stuff from Griner in a very, very long time. Now they're back at home. I think she's going to want to do that in front of the Atlanta fans. So I'm going to take the Dream. I'm going to take the over. And I'm also going to take BG points props, because why not? Final game of the night, and then we have player props. I'm going to rock the Sparks at home +2.5 and the over 174.5. We have the return game for Cameron Brink. I do not think she's played a WNBA game in almost a year. She should be coming off the bench. She is going to have a minute restriction. Sparks have been playing really good basketball. I don't think they're going to want to test her playing too many minutes in the rotation they have going now. They've been playing fantastic, so I don't see any point in switching that up. Aces. Let's flash back a week ago. They were playing disgustingly bad basketball. Their most recent game, however, they did beat up on the Wings by 24 points. I don't think I can credit them too much, even though the Wings did just beat the Liberty. At the end of the day, it is the Wings, and that was without Paige Beckers. So I'm not going to put too much weight into that one. I did, however, like the switch they had in the starting lineup. Jewel Lloyd no longer. She's coming off the bench. They rotated Kirsten Bell into the starting rotation to have some more size and help out Asia down low. Both of these coaches are on the ban list, so we should be seeing some ridiculous coaching things come up in this game. Should be very fun to watch. Sparks, they've won 5 in a row. Most of them have been on the road, though. They are still 3-8 straight up this year at home. No, it's not going to be the worst record at home, but it has to be one of the worst record at home. Even the Sun have gotten 2 wins in their own place. Currently in the W, I think the Sparks have the best run offense. You have crazy good production from Rakia. Dearica Hamby, Azrae Stevens are playing great. Kelsey Plum is fantastic. The only one who doesn't really do anything is Allemond, but she's been getting her assists, to be honest. So the entire starting five has been playing well. Defensively, they can't do anything. Same with the Aces. They couldn't stop a retirement home league from scoring 80 points. I'm not going to fade the Sparks. It does kind of scare me that they're back at home just because they're so ass in their own arena. But I'm going to back them. Give me the Sparks getting disrespected as a dog at home. And they give me the over 174 points. These two teams have already played twice this year. This has hit in both of those games. All right, now we got player props. First one, Brittany Griner. Points over only 11.5. Brittany Griner, like I said, she's been hooping since Ryan Howard went out. She finally started to actually look for her shots. Normally, she only puts it up when she gets rebounds or a free layup. She's hit this number in 3 out of her last 4 games. Golden State has nobody close to Brittany Griner size-wise. I mean, she's 6'9", 210 pounds. Who is stopping her? Next one, Angels back in the lineup, and there's no Ariel, so I feel like you kind of have to hammer her PRA over 29.5. She's slated to play. If she doesn't play, your bet's just going to get refunded. Last time she played the Washington Mystics, she scored 22 points, 15 rebounds, and 4 assists. That is 41 PRA, and they're setting this line under 30. No thanks. Give me the over. Finally, Rakia Jackson. I don't know why they keep on making this line so low. 12.5. You can find it on FanDuel. This is going to be a ridiculously fast-paced game. The over-under, 174.5. She has hit this points number in 6 out of her last 7 games, scoring 24, 22, 22, 19, 14, and 15. The only game she didn't hit it, she scored 4 points on 1 of 9 from the field. She should be able to get hers easily. All right, that is the recap. Hopefully, we have a better day than the previous one. I appreciate you guys watching and tuning in, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.